Tired of messy CLI flags in your dev setup? In this video, you will master Nodemon Config like a pro using nodemon.json, package.json, and CLI flags for a clean and efficient workflow. This tutorial assumes Nodemon is installed. If you haven't set it up yet, check my installation guide video linked in the description below. Let's dive in. By default, Nodemon looks for nodemon.json in the root of your project. If you need separate configurations, for example for development and production, use the config flag to specify an alternative file. To switch configurations, simply run npx nodemon config nodemon.dev.json or nodemon.prod.json to switch between development and production environments. Here is how to set up Nodemon to monitor a folder. This tells Nodemon to restart the app when files in the src folder change. Forgetting watch causes Nodemon to monitor all files, leading to unnecessary restarts. Now, let's say there is a folder inside src called logs that we want to ignore. This prevents Nodemon from restarting when logs update. However, adding folders to the ignore array doesn't stop Nodemon from tracking changes in those folders. It only prevents restarts. So, if you want to completely ignore them, be sure to not watch them in the first place. You can use patterns in watch and ignore rules. For example, src / watches the src folder. src / watches all files directly in the src folder. src / star.js watches only JavaScript files inside src folder. src / star.js recursively watches all JavaScript files in src folder and its subfolders. Be careful, ignore patterns must be absolute paths. Relative ones can behave unexpectedly. Both watch and ignore are arrays. You can add multiple folders to watch or ignore. For example, you can add the config folder to the watch list and ignore the tmp folder inside src. The ext key instructs Nodemon to only restart the process when JavaScript and JSON files change. It is useful for projects with mixed file types. The exec key defines what command to run when a restart is triggered. You can change the default script Nodemon runs and also the binary it uses to run that script. It can be node, babel node, ts node, or anything else. The execMap key tells Nodemon which binary to use for a specific file types. For JS files, it defaults to node, but this is especially useful when working with ts node or babel node. Planning to use Nodemon with TypeScript? Check out my dedicated video on using Nodemon with TypeScript linked in the description below. The env key sets environment variables after Nodemon starts. This won't affect any logic that runs before Nodemon starts. Use your npm script to set node-env before execution if needed. Delay key helps avoid multiple restarts when many files change at once. And the verbose key shows detailed logs so you can troubleshoot what's being watched, ignored, and executed. This makes it easier to troubleshoot your Nodemon config directly from the terminal. This gives you full control over your Nodemon configuration without relying solely on messy CLI flags. Though CLI options still work and are great for quick overrides. Instead of using nodemon.json, you can add a Nodemon config section to package.json. Moving the config to package.json is as easy as pasting nodemon.json content under the Nodemon config key in package.json. It is handy for smaller projects and you don't need an extra file. Nodemon's CLI options override file-based configs. Let's run an example. Watch flag is equivalent to the watch key in nodemon.json. It defines which folder to monitor, and you can also use its shorthand version, which is -w. So nodemon-watch is equal to nodemon-w. Ignore flag does the same as ignore key. Just use multiple ignore flags to ignore multiple folders. ext, exec, and delay flags work the same way as the ext, exec, and delay keys in nodemon.json. The shorthand version of exec flag is -x, so nodemon-exec is the same as nodemon-x. And the verbose flag turns the debug output on. This CLI command covers most key configurations from nodemon.json, but certain options like env and execMap require additional setup. Now you know how to master your Nodemon config like a pro. You have learned how to watch and ignore files, set custom commands, apply environment variables, and debug your setup. If you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe, and don't miss the next video where we integrate Nodemon with TypeScript. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.